Welcome to the premiere episode of Show You You. I guess you're wondering, what is that about? Show You You? Well, let me explain that to you. I am a boudoir, bridal boudoir photographer. Mark Elliott is my name, of course. I have a studio, M Suite, where I've been doing boudoir for a while and taking pictures of women kind of around the country. And something I came across and something I've noticed in doing this work is that a lot of women look at themselves differently. Some have good visions of themselves, some have poor, some have medium. And I kind of always wonder why, just in conversation and doing this, kind of always kind of thought, how do they get there? So the idea hit me, put something together and talk about it. And that's where Show You You came from. Basically, who's better to show you you than yourself? And you should be showing yourself you all the time. And if you're not, we're going to talk about some reasons why you may not. And maybe through our conversation, we can change some things. It's possible. So there lies the story behind Show You You. Basically, it's going to be a conversation from time to time that we're going to have, and sometimes I'll have guests, but really get into the mental side of why we're not feeling good about ourselves. What happened along the way, what we looked at, some things we may have done. They kind of taken us away from looking at ourselves on a daily basis and feeling good physically. And if you can look at yourself physically and it starts inside mentally, you're going to project that outward. So there's a lot behind this when I think about it and I started putting it together. And it took me a little while to kind of really mold this. And I'm kind of glad it's getting off the ground because sometimes you have these ideas, and if you don't move forward, they just stay an idea that never kind of come to fruition. So I want to thank you for being part of this and giving it an air from time to time because I'm going to kind of do it pretty frequently. And from time to time, I'm going to have some guests come on and speak because I don't want to do all the talking by myself. But basically, that's the design behind this Show You You. And when I was putting it together, I had so many thoughts floating around. And one thing came to me, and I did a little research on this. Mona Lisa, remember her? Over the years, that photo of Mona Lisa became a work of art. And some might say, how did that happen? Yeah, you think about it. Mona Lisa. We all looked at the picture over the years and had our own ideas about it. That's the beautiful thing about images. It gives you a chance personally to basically form your own thoughts and your own, opinions. And what's more better than that? But when I look at Mona Lisa and I kind of really kind of digging into it, I found that, at the time, she was a simple Florentine housewife. I love the word simple, Florentine housewife. Nothing, added on, just simple. And I'm not sure why the person that decided to use her as a model chose her, but maybe because she was simple. Maybe she wasn't jazzed up, and that's what he wanted to illustrate. But think about the simpleness for the most part, and how far have we come from just being simple. And from that, it was portrayed and transformed into a mysterious, or she was portrayed and transformed into a mysterious seductress. Yeah, a simple Florentine housewife sat down for a period of time and had her picture painted, and lo and behold, was transformed into a mysterious seductress. Now, some may look at Mona Lisa and not see that, and you have a right to do that. And I don't know how they came upon looking at her as seductress. Maybe back at that time, that type of picture, you know, landed in that category. But for me, I like the word of transform. I'm gonna stay away from the seductress a little bit. I like the word of transform because it transformed the simpleness. The more people, I'm assuming, looked at the photo, the more they found good about the picture. Maybe the first time they viewed it, they didn't see, but more they pay attention, more things kind of stuck out. And that's what it comes down to. I think a lot of times, I think when we think of ourselves, we don't want to be simple. And as we age, things start to change in our bodies and our minds. We start to look at others that may ideally we think we want to kind of look like, and we compare ourselves to them, and that's not a good move. Not a good move at all. And I think from that, we forget that what we maintain and what we have and our personal uniqueness, our personal beauty, We start looking at others. And I don't think people looked at Mona Lisa for the most part and compared themselves to her. I think they kind of looked at her. Sometimes they might have made fun of her. They may have looked at her and thought she may have looked funny. They may have thought that she was dressed a certain way. But given time, look how that one image, that one poll transformed that young lady, a Florentine housewife, into a mysterious seductress. And then it wanted to say basically that the gaze became an unknown pleasure. Wow, what does that mean? In other words, her simple gaze, nothing special, nothing trying to be overdone this way, turned into an unknown pleasure. Wow. I- That's kind of deep on itself. And others kind of went on to say that something about her body, not about her body, more so her lips. They call those frigiditous lips and an enchanting smile. And I always looked at Mona Lisa that where she wasn't trying to smile. She was kind of holding her smile back for whatever reason. And I'm going to think about this for a second. You know why? She may be trying to hold her smile back. She may not have felt good about herself. She may have been walking around thinking that her smile is not beautiful. And why am I going to open up and share that or let people see that? So maybe that was her mindset in thinking, I'm not going to smile. But even without trying to smile, look what others saw in her, an enchanted smile. So you say, what am I driving to? I think sometimes we have to look at ourselves and realize we're our own worst enemies when it comes to our personal image of ourselves. We've been inundated with stuff that's, what they tell you what you should look like, how you should dress. Where's your individuality, beauty? Let's go back to that. Let's go back to feeling good about when we get up in the bed, out of the bed in the morning. We're not comparing ourselves or our vision to no one else other than ourselves and feeling good about who we are. Yeah, we might can stand to make some adjustments and do some things, but outside of that, let's let the foundation be we're happy where we are. And we can build from there. If you want to do some minor changes, that's understandable. But I like the fact of using Mona Lisa as something to fall back on. Because again, a lot of people looked at that picture and thought, what the? But over the years, look how it's transformed. Look how it grew. And it was painted years ago. And the old adage say, one picture was 1,000 words. Sometimes it's more than that. But I think it's a great foundation to understand our mental psychic. A simple Florentine housewife grew into be a work of art, a work of art. I believe we all are walking works of art. But do we think that way about ourselves? No, because things have happened in our lives. Could have been certain traumas. Maybe we weren't spoken to when we were younger, telling us how beautiful you are, what you're going to be. That positive influence wasn't impressed upon you. Okay, I understand that. But let's work beyond that. Let's not stop there because life is too great. It's too much of a strong gift to not be walking around always feeling empowered and strong and thinking of yourself in a fulfilled manner. So that's basically what this show is going to be about. How do we do things to get there? Why we're not there? And how can we get there and maintain that on a daily basis? And I'm going to say with that, the battle is in the mind. It's not in the weight you've gained, the weight you want to lose, the clothes you want to wear. The battle lives in the mind. And if we can work on that, which I know we can, and expose ourselves to it and look at it differently and change that, turn the knob on that. Remember old fashioned black and white TVs, you had to walk up to it and turn the knob. We can turn the knob to a different channel, more vibrant thinking, more splashful thinking. We can, see things much differently. So again, I'm going to say this is the opening to an episode that's going to be following up and building on this for the most part is show you you. Think about it. When the last time you showed you you? Well, thank you for giving me an air, Mark Elliott. We'll come back again real soon and we'll talk about it some more. Appreciate it.